Hello and welcome to another one of those Wednesdays where I have a look at the Tinto Talks and bring you all of the news and updates that are coming to this game we're also very excited about. Before I get into that, as per usual, I just gotta say, click the subscribe button. I don't have anything fancy to say, just do it. It helps me, please. Thanks. Let's move on. Let's go. So, hello everyone, and welcome to another Tinto Talks, the happy Wednesday where we talk about our upcoming top secret game with the codename Project Caesar. This week we'll go into details about the government reforms and look into some specific ones that you may use or not. I will say I am a fan of the government reforms in EU4. I don't think we're going to get something that's remotely similar, but if we did and it was identical, I wouldn't lose any sleep about it. I'm not going to lie. It would be fine. But anyway, let's see what we have. Representing everything from ancient traditions to progressive amendments, government reforms outline the shape of governance in a country. Each one is unique, but they often give powerful trade-offs and open up unique playstyles. At the start of the game, countries are only allowed to have 2 government reforms, but in every age there is at least one advance that unlocks another slot for reforms. Some specific reforms also add another slot, so they're essentially free for that country. On average, in the final age of the game, a country may have 7 or 8 reforms. Okay. Starting off, so if we kind of think about E4 and how government reforms work there, you start off with 1. Here you start off with 2, and they seem to be, at least from this short paragraph that we've got so far, a little bit more free form, a little bit more, free than this progressive or progression style that we have in EU4. So, okay. Common government reforms that are available to everyone are likely to have an age requirement, spreading out their availability over the game. Some reforms are major reforms, and a country may not have more than 1 major reform at the same time. Okay, fair enough, that makes sense. There will be a diverse selection of reforms in each age, with about 5 common new ones added each age, and another 2 per government type. The unique ones are far more plentiful and diverse, with over 150 currently in the game. That's kind of nice. 5 common ones. So, okay, if you are not playing a nation that has some unique stuff, and by nation I don't mean just like the country tag, because there will be stuff for cultures as well, probably some for religions as well. If you're not playing anything with any of those, then you're going to have 7 new ones every age. You're going to be able to add 1 every age, because every age there's 1 advance that unlocks another slot for reforms. So you're gonna have some choice. You're gonna have some diversity there, but yeah, 150 currently in the game for unique ones, for probably some tags, probably some cultures, maybe some religions in there as well. But yeah, that's cool. In the user interface, the government reforms exist in the Crown's part of the estate screen, as the Crown does not really have any estate privileges. That's fair enough, and we have a view of the estate screen here, which is nice. I really like that they've added the equilibrium point. Is that really the word? The trending point. So, at the moment, the noblesse in France has 79.75 loyalty or happiness. I think it's probably loyalty, but it is trending towards 102%. I love that they've added this in. Makes it a lot easier than having to hover over a bar, and that's just annoying. As for these will be their estate privileges, and what I imagine is the case here is that these will get artwork. They just don't have it right now, but it will be coming. Same with the clergy, same with the bourgeoisie here. You can also see how many pops there are of those estate types, which is really awesome to see. And it looks like France is doing pretty well with its estates. You know, all of the loyalties are at least trending towards a decent position. Also got their power here as well. And I assume, without doing the math, that all of this adds up to 100%. See how many reforms we got up here? I like it. What I don't see is anything indicating how many privileges we can give to our estates. Whether they, go up to the end of this bar and you can have no more than that, which is, what, 5, 11? 11's a very weird number to have on this bar, I'm not going to lie. So we'll see if that is, they get shuffled and squidged a bit. But otherwise, yeah, I like the screen. This, it's quite, let's say, flavorful, or it's got little bits of filigree and little monument-y things on the sides. You know, it looks like a decent bit of UI elements that isn't boring, which is a complaint that I've seen so much for the UI elements that we've seen for EU5 so far, is that they look kind of boring. They look kind of plain Jane kind of way. But generally, for the most part, what we've seen and what I've seen as being, you know, called that, as being called boring, as being called to nothingness, are tooltip UI elements, not this kind of thing. But we do have some UI elements down below, so we'll go and have a look, and maybe I'll be able to show you what I mean. Like here, this is a little bit plain, but this is a pop-up, so it's different. Anyway, my friends can have 3 reforms, but the current one's beneficial. No idea, because I don't know what they are. Removing a government reform currently costs 20 stability, which is a bit cheap, but that may change. Some reforms cannot be removed at will, though, and are locked until specific circumstances allow them to be removed. That's fine, that makes sense. EU4 had similar elements, similar things that couldn't be removed just at will. Adding a new reform does not have a cost, but it takes up to 2 years before the benefits are fully implemented. Okay, I like that. Common reforms. Some examples of early government reforms that many nations have access to from the start. So we have religious tolerance here. This was, I believe, either a clergy estate privilege, or it might have been the merchants. I forget which one. I know the merchants had something to do with religiousness in it, and it might have been this, but this looks like it's taking heavily from some of the privileges. For when your country is populated by people who practice different beliefs and confessions, therefore it'd be prudent to govern in a tolerant manner with them, ensuring that their support for the government. So yeah, it gives progress to communalism, tolerance for the heretical beliefs, and tolerance for the heathen beliefs. We'll make saying it like this, it'll make your country a bit more communal, though, as if that is a bad thing. Is that going to be a bad thing? I don't know. I don't think so. Where are we at? Societal values. Let's open this up. Did we have communalism 1 shown properly? No. So communalism is here somewhere. Here we go. Individualism versus communalism. Greater good of society. That seems pretty good to me. Individualist, higher morale in the armies and navies. Okay, maybe not. Communalist, lower satisfaction threshold for pops to join rebels. Pretty good. Yeah, this is one of the ones that I said was pretty balanced, so I'm not worried about that. Diplomatic traditions. From time immemorial, our people have favoured the word above the sword, giving us the ability to forge lasting relationships with our allies and friends, and a reputation as honest and loyal. So we have Diplo rep in here, diplomatic capacity in here. This is going to be very important for some countries. Yeah. France, I can see making use of this. Honestly, with the diplomatic capacity, I can see a lot of countries really wanting this. And sure, it brings us towards conciliatory, which is... Do we have that somewhere? Belligerent creates casus belli faster, gets cheaper war score cost, faster spy networks. Conciliatory gets efficiency of the cabinet, loyalty of subjects, improve the diplo rep. I feel like this is actually better. So sure, I will probably be taking diplomatic traditions. Military order. It's a major reform that the Catholic theocracies have access to. It's one of the types of reforms that truly defines a country. Is this one of the ones that is a major reform then, that you can only have one of? It is marked by gold around the image, whereas these two are marked by blue. So maybe that is something there. The military orders were created in the Middle Ages as a militant body of the Catholic Church. Its members are both warriors and monks who take religious vows and are destined to defend and expand Christianity. So we have belligerent, which is the opposite of conciliatory. We have offensive, which is offensive versus defensive here. Oh yeah, this is the one that I said defensive was way the fuck better, and I stand by that. I still think this is way better. Gives you higher clergy levy size. You can be the target of military sponsorships, which we did see before, but I forget which Tinto talk it was about. And the clergies are allowed to lead. Lead what? Become generals, maybe this means? I don't know. But they're very important to holy orders. Very true. So, unique ones. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of the more unique government reforms that we have in the game right now. Family Sagas is a unique reform that anyone with a primary culture of Icelandic can get, which both Iceland and Greenland starts with. All 5 Icelandic people will be very happy about this. But that's all there is. Yeah. Our ancient sagas, passed orally through the generations, tell of adventurous expeditions to a distant and wild land of the Western Sea. Perhaps one day we may follow in the footsteps of our old compatriots. So it will let them recruit explorers, invite settlers, monthly progress to naval, allows exploration missions, and it gives +2 cultural tradition. If only they had the population to exploit it, indeed. This is also surrounded by blue, so unique isn't... Wait, why are you... I have a feeling that this does mean it is a major reform. But yeah, unique isn't, it seems, denoted by a change in the image. And then 3 departments. It's available to any country that has Chinese or Korean as their court language. The 3 department system originates from the ancient Chinese empires and is the primary administrative structure of the state. All departments focus on several aspects of the process of drafting, establishing, and revisiting state policies. So they get set policy cost -33%, quite nice. Changing policy cost -10%, and administrative efficiency +10%. If this was EU4, this would be worth taking purely for this. Admin efficiency is huge. But yeah, if you want laws changed, this is the reform to have. Very nice. The Magna Carta, which we got a little bit of a tease of already, is a unique reform that England starts with. It's also possible for any country with the English primary culture or if their overlord has this reform. The Great Charter is a constitutional law that distributes power away from the monarch and towards the barons. First signed in 1215, it's one of the earliest documents to enshrine the idea of civil liberties, such as the right to a fair trial and protection against illegal imprisonment. So we get monthly progress to free subjects and individualism, very nice, and the noble's power does go up from it, and then you get parliament-based support, which we still don't know what parliaments do. However, next week, we're going to be looking at different types of parliaments and how we interact with them, so definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, Magna Carta gives some power to the nobles and shapes the country towards certain ideals. Very cool, very cool. I think I don't have a problem with anything we've seen here. I am fine with, the amount of them that we get. 7 or 8 at the end, towards the end of the game. If you look at EU4 and their government reforms, we are looking at around 8 to 12, I want to say, though maybe my experience is a little bit skewed by the fact that I play a crap ton of Anbana. But I don't have a problem with getting an extra 1, potentially 2 in every reform, or sorry, in every age. And they look decent enough, right? If I can, maybe I'm not very diplomatic. Maybe I've screwed the pooch and I'm very aggressive expansionist. I'm a large country. I don't really care about people's opinion of me. I don't really care to have allies at this point. So, swapping out diplomatic traditions for something else, it is a little bit more freeing than the current system, which is everything is obviously in tiers, and you've only got, between, 4 and maybe 12 options, 4 and 8 options per category. But this looks like it is a lot more free, and you can pick and choose what you want from, a list. So I like it. I'm looking forward to seeing what parliaments come with next week. This Friday, there will be a video. It won't be the standard Tinto maps because Paradox has, or I think Spain has a bank holiday. But I will be sharing with you the Tinto maps extra of the Indian Ocean, and there was also a thread that was posted not recently. I should have done it already, but Johan went over why bilateral peace treaties will not be in the game, and I'll go over that there on Friday. So if you're looking forward to that, feel free to hit the subscribe button, like the video if you have not done so already, and maybe leave a comment down below telling me what kind of reform you would want to see in the game. Maybe if you play Anbana, let me know what kinds of reforms you think would fit in Anbana. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.